This is the Business Owners IT Podcast with Anthony Gerasch and Ryan Carter, where tomorrow's technology meets today's conversations.
Hi, I'm Tony Gerasch.
And I'm Ryan Carter, and this is the Business Owners IT Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and solutions for business owners involving all things tech.
Copilot, AI. We've brought it up before, all this stuff, but we keep having more fun with it, and we're actually starting to do some pretty interesting things here at Unique Computing Solutions. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I think Copilot's, there's a lot we can do with it, right? And we're learning more and more. We're putting some resources towards it, even internally, to do things. And I think Copilot's going to, just continue to grow. Obviously, if you're interested in Copilot, it is, I've had customers said, hey, I never want to use Copilot now, and had us try to disable everything for Copilot. And now they're asking us to enable it. But Copilot, the one that's for work, right? When you use it, it takes the data and stores it in your OneDrive. I actually figured that out this week. So if you upload some files to Copilot, and you're in the work environment, not the free one, not the one that's for on the internet. When you upload files to it, right, it puts it in your OneDrive, and there's some kind of expiration on it.
Okay.
But go ahead.
No. I was just going to talk about how much you talk trash about Copilot, and now you're kind of on board. What changed?
Well, I think before, again, I wasn't using it right? And then you showed me a few things, and then, I started to use it more. I still do prefer Chat GPT, but I use Copilot a lot. I've used it a lot in a lot of different ways. And I think for business owners, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do if you just have to play with it.
Oh, it's unreal, some of the extra stuff you could do. One thing you found out today, it surprised the heck out of you because you uploaded a file to it. Well, go through it.
Yeah, so what I did is I got an email from somebody with a whole bunch of figures on it and dollar amounts and comparisons and all that. But it was an image, right? He took a snapshot, he sent me an email. I took that image, I went to Copilot, .microsoft.com. I logged in as my work account, which it automatically does. I hit the plus sign to upload that image, right? And then I said, Copilot, can you put this in an Excel spreadsheet for me? And boom, it put it in the Excel spreadsheet. Like right away, right? Now I have all these numbers in the Excel spreadsheet. And basically what it was for on our side is to try to meet some pricing. Now, I usually don't compete on pricing, but the pricing was very, very close. So I wanted to be able to do some math to see, the percentages and stuff like that. So I did it. And it worked out great, and I didn't even know you could do it. This week, I also uploaded 2 files. Right, I uploaded all the customers that an RMM that had DNS filter, right, and I uploaded all the customers or all the endpoints in DNS filter that they saw
And RMM.
And I had RMM one spreadsheet, DNS filter in the next.
It. Okay.
And I said, hey, Copilot, the host name is in this field and the host name is in this field and this one. Can you compare these two and tell me all of the ones that are in DNS filter that are RMM? Boom, spit it out like in seconds. That would have been like 2 hours worth of work previously.
Oh, yeah, you got to figure out the formula to do it and,
right.
and compare.
Or just comparing them side by side, sort them, put them side by side, go down one by one.
Yeah.
Right? Insert. Yeah, you could do it today now with this AI. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, it's so much fun. You talked about the web version versus the work version, so I want to throw a couple things out for the business owners. If you have a Microsoft Business Premium license, which is just over $20 a month, that includes Copilot for Web with it. So you would, in your business, if you go to office.com, you don't have to put the Copilot anymore. Office.com is the landing pages for Copilot. You'll always get your web version. If you need the work version, that's where you're going to pay extra for your licensing, and that's going to give you the access into SharePoint, access into your OneDrive, and then just a little with your email. The other day I was talking with Tony on the phone, and he's like, there's no way it'll find this email. He types it into Copilot, and it found the email and the document that he was exactly looking for within obviously a second.
What did I search? I forgot what that was. But yeah, that was pretty amazing that it found it. It found it in multiple places.
Oh, we were looking for the different models and prices for old APC units for battery backups.
Yeah, so we had a customer that wants some battery backups. So yeah, we basically, that's what I did. I couldn't find it. I'm looking everywhere. I'm looking in eBridge. I'm looking at all the legacy stuff. I'm looking on public folders that we still use. again, I just put it in there and then boom, it popped in. And it was like, this ain't gonna work, but I'll try, and it did.
Yeah, yeah. Another fun one that I'm using it for personally is that I coach youth baseball, and we use an application called Game Changer to keep all the stats. It's free. It works great. I mean, there's a paid version, but whatever. And it works great. But sometimes as coaches, we have extra questions that we can't just get from those stats. Like, what should my batting order be in this situation with a left-handed batter up that does this, this, and this, and dump it into Copilot with the stats, and it'll spit out your batting order. Or who is my most prized contact hitter on first pitch or fastball pitch. So now we know when we got a fastball pitcher coming in against us, we can put a lineup up against him that has first contact hitters that's going to really put a strike on him. So there's a lot, you know what I mean? And we can sound like an MLB coach without being an MLB coach now by using it. So that's just kind of like a fun little side thing that we do with it. But if we want to take it a step further, we can go into Copilot now. Microsoft at Build this past year, which was maybe 2-3 months ago, they put out, that they call it the Agentic AI, where they're creating these agents to do work for you. And this is where we're really starting to dig in here at Unique Computing Solutions. More to come in the future because we're testing right now. But with these agents, you can connect them to virtually anything with an API, anything with your data. I was just telling Tony, and he's got a little excited about it, that you can connect your agent to your on-premise maybe SQL server or your on-premise file server. Now with that agent connected to your file server, you'd be able to do a lot of the same cool things that you can do with the SharePoint piece, but you just create an agent in Microsoft to connect to that. There's a lot of programming involved. There's a lot of work involved, but those are the things that we're going to be able to do for you in the future. That's going to really bring it home.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cool too, right? So, I mean, I talked about this, right? We got a couple guys now hiring it, or a couple guys working on it. They're learning. Right? There's not a lot of stuff out there for them, right? It's kind of like, they're learning this stuff as fast as it's coming. They're learning it, right? And, these guys are smart, right? So they're learning how to do this, which is important. But then the goal is to be able to help our customers, right?
Yeah.
In the end. And, one of the challenges I said is that we have our PSA, our professional services automation plan. I mean, I'd love to have an agent, right, with the MCP server that's doing all of this, right? Mm-hmm. Just to be able to ask, hey, how much time did we spend on password resets last month? And boom, it just spits it out.
Yep.
I mean, but the challenge for us is our data for that's not very good, right? So we need to start working on our data to make sure that our data that's in our PSA, right, is good. Like, it says that it's a password reset or whatever it is, right? A VPN is down or whatever. We get that data set right where we can just ask it. That would be awesome.
Yep. And we will get there. That's one of our main goals, is to be able to ask those kind of questions. Right. How much time do we spend last month in Office 365 for clients? Or how much time did we spend working on printers? And then maybe we can create another agent that could actually do that part of the work for us that's taking too much time.
How much time do we spend on site? How much time did we spend traveling? What are our gross margins? I mean, those are the types of things that every time I want that, I got to write a report. And, so, I mean, Copilot is just going to grow. I mean, it's going to grow. One other thing, when we were at PAX 8, we talked a little bit about it. They said about creating policies or whatever, like creating an estimate or a quote, right? You could actually take that estimate or quote and say, hey, does this meet all of our policies? Mm-hmm. And it would go and look through the policies and then look at that and tell us if it doesn't match the policies.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's awesome.
Here's one goal that I have now that we talked about the PSA piece and all that, is once a customer signs a contract and it comes over to me at operations, once that contract is signed, I want it to come over, show the contract. Our automation will turn around, the AI piece will turn that around and put it into Autotask as our project to do the onboarding. Automatically email the client asking for times for a meeting, and then the meeting is set. I show up to the meeting. I've already got everything I need right in front of me instead of me manually doing it. That's going to save myself probably 5 hours a week, my team maybe 20 hours a week on the onboarding process. So there's a lot that can be done, and I see it. I see it in the future, and we want to help you guys get there on this. And if you have any suggestions or things you want to do, again, drop it in the comments.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we'll be more than willing to help you especially our existing clients.
Exactly. I'm excited about this, and I think you guys should be too.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's something we need to do. So,
Just-
I mean, it's different though. It's different than what we're doing, right? So, this is programming. This is project lifecycle. This is project development lifecycle. This is testing. This is just like, this is just like building a program to do something, but it has to be tested.
Yep.
So even reporting, right? I build reports all the time. We look at it and we say, that doesn't look right. It has to be tested. We have to figure out, okay, it doesn't look right, but why doesn't it look right? What's wrong with this?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, I don't have any more. Do you have any more on this topic?
Not really. I just, like I said, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So look for more coming from us. We'll probably put some more stuff on this podcast as we develop and do stuff. And we'll yes, there'll be more coming for sure.
So the one thing you guys have to realize for sure that Copilot for Business that you're buying is secure. It only has access to what you have access to. When you upload files, what I recently read, it doesn't actually learn them files. It's just using those files as input data. So it doesn't do any kind of learning process with that. And that it's available in all the different platforms, right? You have Copilot, part of Excel, Copilot, part of Word, PowerPoint. All those have Copilot in it, and each one do a kind of a different thing.
Yep. And if you go back to one of our earlier episodes where we talked about this when we first signed up for it, all we talked about was it writing our emails for us and making us sound nicer, and then going through our Teams meeting and making to-dos and tasks. It's the ball's rolling, guys. It's moving faster and faster and faster, and I'm not going to get behind it. I'm going to be in front of it the whole way through.
Yeah. And the tech tip that I have for you guys, right? Usually Ryan does a tech tip, but he showed me this. In order to do analysis with Copilot, you got to use the web version. You got to upload your stuff there. You have to put it up there. Or it has to be in SharePoint on your OneDrive. So if it's in SharePoint on your OneDrive, you could ask questions. You have to tell it where that file's at, what the file name is. You could ask questions to it. But if it's not, it's on your server. You actually physically got to uplift that to the Copilot thing. You ask your question, you press the enter, and then you can start working with it.
Yep, exactly. Because you had a problem with Excel. I don't remember what it was, but you were trying to ask it to, was it sort some data or do something?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't do it in Excel, but when we uploaded it to the Copilot online and asked it that question, it gave you the right answer.
Yeah. So in this case, here's a business case scenario coming out of our PSA system. I each month I look at all of the contracts, right? And then I ask it, hey, can you give me contracts and list all the contracts that have gross margins less than 50%? There used to be a manual task, 20 pages looking at each one separately. Now it just creates me a new spreadsheet or a new thing that summarized all the ones, and then I can look into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and then sometimes, we want to look in for two reasons, right? First of all, if we're not making any money, obviously we need to contact our customers if we're not making the margin one. But the second thing is I often find, where my margins are huge is because we don't have the right cost, right? Or my margins are too low, but we don't have the right cost. So garbage in, garbage out.
That's what we talk about. That's why he talked about sanitizing our data earlier.
You got to sanitize your data. So that's what you guys got to do. Sanitize, clean that data up. Same thing in SharePoint. If you're going to SharePoint and you want to use Copilot, you got to get that data cleaned up and get it up there.
Exactly. That way you can grow with it.
All right. Well, I think that'll end this. I'm sorry for such a long podcast, but there's a lot of questions. You guys should leave some comments and ask questions. And if you were trying to do something and have this great idea, leave a comment. And if we can help you, we'll help you. It doesn't necessarily have to turn into a contract. We'd like to learn new things all the time too. So, please comment. And I guess that's it, right?
Oh, if you got any cool tips that you're using Copilot or ChatGPT or Claude for, drop them in there because I like to learn. I've learned so much in the past 3 or 4 weeks that I can't wait to learn more. And I'm watching videos, all that stuff. It's just it's unreal. So if you got something cool, share it, please.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining the Business Owners IT podcast, and we hope to see you next week.
We'll see you next week where we talk a little bit again about Secure Score and what we're doing to get ours up and our clients. And it's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. We need to get that score up.
Thank you.
Unique Computing Solutions. Your IT challenges solved.